Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the Olight PL-2 Valkyrie. Man, guys, I literally filmed this video, edited it, did all this great stuff with this video, and I lost the file. I cannot believe it. So I'm scabbing this together real quick. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to do this tabletop today, and then I'm going back out to the range to get more footage this weekend, and I'm going to do a second video once I have the range footage complete. But I wanted to do this kind of as a quick intro to it because it is out there. A lot of people are starting to buy it, and it's got a lot of buzz around it. So I'm going to show you what it is, what's different, and what you're getting for the money. Now, as you know, the PL1 got some pretty positive reviews in the YouTube community for being a, relatively inexpensive, $100 weapon light that was built pretty well. Some people found some issues with it, and I didn't really agree with some of those people. I kind of felt like some people were really just kind of looking for attention on their YouTube channels. And guys, believe it or not, people do intentionally do bad reviews because sometimes bad reviews get more views than good reviews. So sometimes people do, and do this stuff on purpose. I just want to put that out there. So some of the criticisms were kind of in the ergonomics, others in the mounting system, and those haven't really changed. But what you have here now is the big upgrade is this is now an XHP35 LED. XHP Hi, pardon me. As I've mentioned in many flashlight videos, I'm really in love with the XHP LEDs. What they are is a multi-die LED, so it's like 4 little tiny LEDs crammed into one die. They run at a higher voltage than your normal LED, which lets you get up into the very high lumens without sacrificing efficiency or anything like that. The drawback, of course, is heat. Whenever you go up into really high lumens, you are essentially playing with fire. Now, of course, with this upgrade, this brings us up to 1200 lumens. It's a single mode flashlight, but there you can kind of see real quick the specs. It does have a good amount of throw to it. It's 1200 lumens, and it steps down to 600 after like a pretty short period of time because the heat, it will overheat at 1200 lumens very quickly. What it comes with, and I left this kind of intact, your instruction book. It has the rail adapter. Right now it comes with the Glock rail adapter. This is the Picatinny one. I haven't changed that over yet because I was using that on a Glock, so I am going to switch it over and try it out on the Smith & Wesson for the next video. But there's your instructions. Really not a ton to this. This light's very easy to use. Operation is pretty similar to the Olight PL1. A quick tap turns the light on, and that's 1200 lumens. That is very bright. Quick light again turns it off. A hold gives you momentary. Now, you don't have to hold it forever. You can just hold it for a second or hold it for a long period of time. Difference being is that turns on permanently. That gives you momentary. So it does take a little kind of goofing around there to master that, but it's really not too crazy. And strobe warning here. Double gives you strobe. Alright, and those buttons, I think they did extend them a little bit in this model. They definitely are a little easier to hit, plus you have the capability to hit it from the side as well as pushing in from the back. So if you have really long fingers, you can push that in from the side like that. You can see it's got the quick detach mount, which some people like, some people hate. I haven't had any issues with them. And the PL1, of course, has more rounds on it than this. I only put about 50 through this so far. So no issues with that so far. It works pretty good. I think it's dependent. It's not going to fit every gun perfect, obviously. And there is your little adapter. The Glock one is installed now. You just take that out, replace it with the Picatinny if you want. No big deal. TIR lens. And they're really good. Look at the quality on that glass. It's not 100% anti-reflective, but that's one of the better anti-reflective coatings I've seen in a while. Olight really kind of outdoes herself with some of the details. Your battery compartment is here. Very easy to change out. You're just literally lifting up this tab, and that pops open the back compartment. And you can see this runs on 2 CR123 batteries. They include 2 with it. And these are not rechargeables. These are regular So pay attention to that. And one thing to bear in mind, guys, if you're going to replace the batteries, you probably do need the high drain batteries to run this. So you'll probably want to replace them with the Olights. Positive and negative is clearly marked. Close it back up. You're just kind of going to lift that gate again. Push it down. Snap it back into place. And you are good to go. Yeah, I like that. So ergonomics wise, I'm fine with it. I know other people have complained in the past that they feel it's just too hard to reach. But then again, everybody's hands are different. Everyone's firearms are different. If you have a firearm that really fits your hand properly, you shouldn't have an issue. I think a lot of the problem is a lot of people can't suck up their pride, and people buy full-size Glocks even though they have smaller hands, and then they wonder why they can't reach this. Guys, you have to be honest with yourself. Look at that. I have huge palms, short little fingers. I have to be realistic. So most of the guns I buy are small subcompacts and smaller weapons. It's just the way it is. It's more important to me that the gun fit my hand than to look better. So I think a lot of the ergonomic issues are the fact that people do have odd-sized hands and they just don't really buy what they need. But I think if you go and you look at this, you definitely, it's not going to be very far off the trigger guard, and you should be able to reach the end of the trigger guard. If you're obviously curled in on the trigger, you should have quite a bit more room to extend there. So ergonomics, could it be an issue with you? Yes. But that is the case with any weapon mounted light. You really should kind of expect that. Mounting system, I haven't had any issues with, guys. I haven't had any issues with the PL1. I haven't had any issues with the PL2. If I ever do, I will let you guys know. And guys, every time I go to the range, I bring a weapon light. Even if it's that cheap piece of crap $30 one I reviewed like 3 years ago, I always bring a weapon light. I always put rounds on them because I want to know these things are going to hold up long term. If they fail, you guys are going to be the first to know. So every time I go, I bring one. So now I have a few more to rotate in, but that's the thing is I can still do 20, 30 rounds on one, 20, 30 on the other. It adds up over time. So overall, guys, I think there's some really nice changes here. I'm crazy about those XHP LEDs. They're just so powerful, so efficient. You really get so much for the money, and this is just overwhelming. To shine this in someone's eyes, close range is really overwhelming. 1200 lumens is damn near impossible to look at. It really lights a room up. That TIR lens really spreads the light out, but it also is bright enough where you can really see, very well 50, 100 yards out. So I think it's a really good option. It's a really good amount of lumens, and the step down after a couple of minutes to 600 I think is pretty appropriate. The 600 lumens is nice and bright. Overall, I think it's a really good, kind of value for the money. The Streamlight out there are nice, but in the end, the Streamlight stuff is using kind of really outdated LED technology. They really haven't done much with those base models in a long time. This has got a good cutting edge, top of the line LED. The only things are pretty tough. There's very few reports of failure on the internet. Overall, I think good value. I like these. I use them. Like I said, every time I go to the range, they're on there. They usually stay on whatever self-defense gun I have for around the house. My wife likes it. She's used it. She's practiced with it. Overall, we've had a positive experience with these Olights, and look forward to getting you guys a video of this in use. I'm actually having a little mini vacation for the 4th of July, so the goal is to get out to the range and do and film quite a bit of footage for you guys.